Hello everyone, and welcome to another video tutorial, and this one will cover the week 7 assignment material. This assignment is broken up into 3 parts, and the good news is that the first 2 parts are rather very similar to the week 6 assignment, in that we need to make some simple updates to our project file, we need to take some screenshots of the earned value table and the graphs, and then we need to make some formula calculations in Excel, and answer some questions about the status of the project. And if you remember, we actually did the same exact thing in week 4. In fact, you are asked to use the same Excel sheet from week 4, so nothing is new here really so far. The idea of this assignment is that we simply want to put the project in a certain situation or condition. Then as a project manager, you need to discuss the status of the project based on these latest updates. Then we come to part 3 of the assignment, which introduces us to some new material. First, there is a set of new questions that need to be answered, again about the status and the outlook of the project. And finally, you need to create 2 PowerPoint presentations that answer specific questions which are given to you in the assignment's instructions. One presentation will be geared towards your project team, while the other is for the project sponsor and the top executives. So without further ado, let me dive deeper into all of what I just discussed now. So here are the assignment instructions, as you can see, and the part 1 basically is asking us to update all these tasks duration. And if we look at the file itself, all these tasks are really under the concept summary group. So for example, conduct research for income mechanism into global TREPs. Again, this needs to be updated to be 30 days. And then the next one, evaluate current system, 10, and so on and so on and so on. So all these tasks are exactly the 11 tasks that go under the concept. So for example, this one is 20. Now we need to change it to 10. And there are a couple of ways you can do this. You can either use the manual slow way of going up the arrows, click, 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 all the way to reach to 30. And notice when I update the days, my finish date doesn't change yet, and that's because I'm still in editing mode. But if I click on enter, then the date got updated. Okay. So that's one way to use the arrow. Or you can just type it in manually. So for the evaluate current systems, it says needs to be 10 days. So let me just memorize this: 10, 22, 23. Okay, so I would just go here, click on it, hit 10, and I'm gonna hit enter on my keyboard. So see, that's much quicker now. So we said 10, and then 22, 23. So I'll do 22, hit enter, 23, hit enter, and so on. So go ahead and update all these durations for the remainder of these tasks. And again, they're all the tasks that are under the concept summary group. All right, so that's the first thing we need to do per the assignment instructions. The second part of part 1, or the second half of part 1, is to update the labor costs for each resource. So this kind of takes us back to really these numbers were the same numbers from week 4. And the way to update these hourly rates is you go to the resource sheet, which again is up here, click on the down arrow for the Gantt chart, and then go to resource sheet. And again, don't worry about the fact that the numbers are in red because, like I said before, this is not the latest and greatest project file. But I just wanted to demonstrate how we can update the standard rate. So again, we just need to look at these values here, again, 120, 95, 55, 55, 45, and make these updates in this table here. Now again, this table here has the same exact values, but just to change them, all you have to do is just click anywhere on the cell that you want to update, type in the number, say 25, and just hit enter. 69, hit enter. 15, and hit enter. So again, these are not the correct numbers, but I just want to show you how to update the values for the resource sheet for the standard rates. Okay, the next part we need to do is, again, something that we've done before. Under the part 2, it says that we need to take screenshots of our earned value table and the earned value report. Again, that's something that we've done previously in the week 6, but this is good practice for us. Basically, go back to your Gantt chart and then click on the select all, which if you remember is this area here. So I click on it. This selects all my project for me. Then I'm going to right click on it and go to more tables. And from there, I need to double click on the earned value. So double click, and that automatically displays the earned value table for me. Again, don't worry about the fact that I have zeros, and the only reason why I have zeros and not, decent numbers is because I'm using a project file that has not been updated with completion percentages for some of the project work. I also did not set a baseline for this particular project file that I'm using now. So don't be confused by the fact that I have zeros here. Okay, so that's how you get the project table. I'm sorry, the earned value table. And if you remember again, for the earned value report, we go up to report in the menu and then go to costs. And then here's my earned value report. And again, you won't see, the reason why you don't see any lines or proper graphs is, again, I'm not using the very most updated project file. So please take a screenshot of this view as well as the earned value table view as well, just like we did in week 6. All right, and the second half of part 2 is that it wants us to do something that we've done also before. In week 4, we had an Excel file that we had to calculate some formulas for. Again, the CPI, the SPI, and the so basically earned value calculations. And then once you update that Excel file again from week 4, these are the same questions that we had to answer before. So again, we made some different updates to our project, and now as a project manager, we need to answer these questions based on what the current situation is of our project. All right. And then the new part, or something that we haven't done before, is part 3. And again, it starts off by asking us, we have to answer some questions based on where we are with the project. And the final part of it is that we need to create 2 PowerPoint presentations, which is this part here. Okay. And the key point about the PowerPoint presentations are, again, there are 2 of them. One, the audience is going to be just your project team, so it's all internal. And then the other PowerPoint presentation is going to be geared towards the project sponsor and your key executives. So it's pretty much going to say the same thing, but again, your audience will dictate what can be said and what cannot be said. The key point here is they're not big presentations. They're just, as it says here, 2 5-slide PowerPoint presentations. Okay, so it's not a big presentation. But the key point that I wanted to stress is that we need to include speaker notes. Okay, so I took the liberty of just creating a sample PowerPoint presentation. This one is geared for the team, your team audience, your internal team audience. And for example, and again, I've built this based on these questions here, which is first one talks about ethical dilemmas. This one talks about team performance issues. This one talks about the impact of the triple constraints. And then you need to provide an overview of how you're going to move forward with this project. So I've created these slides here: ethical dilemmas, team performance issues, triple constraints impact, and moving forward steps. So you're probably familiar with PowerPoint presentations, and usually we just have in the slide itself, we have bullet points, which might not have any details. Actually, they should not have any details. They should just be a very high-level view, bullet points of what you want to discuss in this slide. So where does the detail come from? Well, the detail needs to be in your notes section, which is down here. Here's where you would click to add notes, and here's where you would type, dilemma 1 talks about, and then basically you type in everything that you want to say about dilemma 1, and then dilemma 2, and then dilemma 3. So again, the slide would include just the visuals, while the speaker notes would include all the details. So make sure that you type a lot. Again, it's not a quantitative test. It's just that I need to understand what you mean by this point here, what you mean by this point here, what you mean by this point here. So again, pretend you are the presenter, which technically you should be, and then type everything that you want to say down here regarding this slide. Okay, so and you do this for every single slide. So again, for slide 3, here are my bullet points, and then down here you would type in all the information that you want to talk about for these bullet points. Same thing for slide 4, same thing for slide 5. So again, make sure that you populate what you want to talk about in this notes section. So again, do the same thing for this PowerPoint presentation, which this one I just gave a sample for my team. And then you need to create another PowerPoint presentation, again, 5 slides at least, geared more towards the project sponsor and the top executives. So as a summary of what is needed for this assignment, please submit the following: the Global TREPS project file, which is now in revision 7. That project file should show the updated duration for all the tasks under the concept summary section, which is under the execution phase of the project. It should also include the updated standard hourly rates for the different project resources. Then please include a screenshot of the earned value table and the earned value report. Then also please include an Excel file that shows the calculations of the earned value, along with answering a few questions found in the assignment instructions. And last but not least, please submit 2 PowerPoint presentations, and please make sure to include the speaker notes for each slide. So I hope you found this video helpful, and please don't hesitate to contact me with any questions. Thank you for watching, and I'll be seeing you in class. Take care everyone, and bye for now.